Okay, it's official. Talentless Nana is definitely my comedy series of the season, possibly the year. I really do love the show. Anyway, hello everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to our weekly Talentless Nana discussion video. Today we're talking all about episode 9, Survival of the Fittest. But before we get into the video, quick reminder if you haven't done so yet to hit that subscribe button, ring that bell, set notifications to all, let all of AniTube know that you're here. And without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and get into it. And as you can probably tell by my tone of voice, I realized something about Nana today. I realized something. You know, guys, I learned something today. What I learned was, I've been saying for a hot minute now that the show is not, like, I don't think I view this series the same way some of you guys do. A few people in the comments have been telling me that they view the series in this way, and I was like, I don't know if I necessarily see it that way. I think that there's a lot of charm to it, and I think it's trying to work with it. Nah, I still think it does, but just not quite in the way that I thought it did. I saw a lot of people, not a lot, but a decent chunk of people in the comments saying that they're watching the show because it's so ridiculous now that it's actually becoming really funny. And I was like, no, I don't know if I necessarily think of it like that. Like, that seems a little, like, I don't know if that's how I view it. No, that's how I view it. That is 100% where I'm at now. I love this show because it's ridiculous. Like, because Nana's got plot armor out the wazoo, because Kyoya keeps trying his bestest, and now you get the new dude whose name I've forgotten. I will look it up in just a second after I finish this train of thought. But you get the new guy who is basically just as, like, OP as Nana, because, like, Nana has a talent. I don't know if you guys know this, but, like, Nana is a talented. Come close. Come close. I gotta tell you this. Come real close. Nana's skill, her special talent, is she got plot armor. Like, it feels like the show has stopped becoming, like, Nana trying to take out the enemies of humanity, like, trying to take out these people with powers, even though that's kind of questionable and kind of shady and shitty, but, like, yeah, Nana being a badass and taking out people with powers without having powers. Like, it stopped being that a while ago. Right? And then it started becoming sort of like Among Us, but even then, like, the worst game of Among Us you've ever seen. And now it feels like I'm watching a show where one character, in this case Kyoya, is fighting the author and look at the show through this perspective. Kyoya is this character who is fighting the author and doing their bestest to try to beat the author at their own game. They are trying to struggle against the very creator that created them and is creating their story, and they're trying to break that story. And yet they're the creator, so they can do whatever they want, make the other characters feel however they want, and just go along with it as long as it makes some kind of sense. And that's sort of what the show feels like to me. And I know for some people it's gonna seem like I'm bashing the show, and I guess to a certain extent I am. But I love this show because it makes me laugh. Like, this episode in particular had me busting a gut when Kyoya's like, I can't find the phone. Why can't I find the phone? And I was like, what the hell's going on? Oh man, wow, like, what happened to the phone? I can't wait to hear this. And I'm thinking, like, okay, the more I think about it, here's what she could have done. She could have scheduled a text, right? Like, she could have easily just scheduled a text, and that's what happened, right? Like, that Nana scheduled the text and then tossed the phone before they found her. And so Nana kept putting her hands in her pockets to make it seem like she had the phone the whole time. But she actually just scheduled the text, and then the phone was gonna send the text message, and that'd be it. So that way, no matter what happens, as long as Nana hides the phone, and as long as the phone gets a signal, wherever it's hidden, she wins, right? So I'm thinking, like, that's actually pretty smart. Like, I have to give Nana that. That's pretty smart. No, that's not what happens. No, what happens is Nana rigged a corpse in the sun so that eventually, at some point, the corpse would start to melt in the sun, and then and as the corpse is melting, it would hit the send. Bitch, why are you so extra? Like, what the fuck? That is so ridiculous. That is so ridiculous. It sounds like I made that up. Like, it sounds like I made it up to make the show seem goofy, but that's actually what happened. Like, Nana's like, I know, I'll get the corpse to melt in the sun. Since the corpses melt in the sun, so I will get the corpse to melt in the sun, and then eventually the finger will start to, like, melt, like, the rigor mortis will go away as the finger starts to melt, and it'll hit the send button instead of, you know, scheduling a tweet, or, like, scheduling a text, or scheduling anything. I don't know what they use. They have, like, whatever. Maybe, hey, JoJo, maybe they don't have scheduled text messages. Maybe you're being kind of harsh. Maybe there's no scheduled text messages on their cell phones in modern day. You know what? Maybe you're right, chat. Maybe you're right. But here's the thing. The author made that rule. The author made that rule. The author wanted to be extra. Because the thing is, they could have just said, like, she scheduled the text. And I would have been like, oh shit, that's actually smart. I didn't see that coming. And it's like, fair. Like, that would have been fair. But no, we gotta be extra. We gotta have some fun here. And you know what? I'm here for it. I'm here for just, you know what? Nana, go off, sis. Go off the rails. I'm here for it. This is the comedy of the season for me. Like far and away, the comedy of the season. The best accidental comedy I've seen in a while. There are some shows that I've seen that I love because they think that they're doing something really cool, and they kind of are, but not in the way that they think. You know what I mean? Like shows that you're like, oh, this is so over the top, so ridiculous that I can't help but get into it. And I've seen shows like that where I do eventually get into it, even though I know that it's ridiculous and I know that the writing's kind of extra goofy, but it still gets me to feel the feels, and I still care about the characters. And I think that that's how I feel about Nana now. Like after today's episode, which is just so absolutely off the rails, banana pants, crazy town, that it fully goes in a direction that I wasn't expecting and ends up being so ridiculous that I can't help but laugh. I laughed throughout most of this episode. I will say some of the stuff with Jin Tachibana, see, I looked up his name. Some of the stuff with Jin was a little boring. Like those parts I'm like, okay, yeah. Or like he's just explaining who he is and what he did. And actually, let's talk about that. For a second, I was like, whoa, Michiru Breaking Bad. And I was laughing my ass off because I'm like, why didn't she just kill her? Like, if you're going to have Nana at knife point, why not just kill her? That's so goofy. But then it's like, no, it's better than that. It's actually that dude who we haven't seen yet, that Jin Tachibana guy. Yeah, it's the dude from the OP. And he's actually older than them. In fact, he's 5 years their senior. That's right, he was the classmate of all those corpses we've been seeing. And I'm like, oh shit, we're going somewhere interesting. Not really. It's kind of boring. The civil war that they have, I'm like, oh, that's not... I don't know. Like, y'all know what I wanted. Y'all know that I was like, oh, it'd be so sick if it was like... if Nana was like a clone and like kept getting sent here. No, I think what's gonna end up happening is that Kyoya, Kyoya's sister was the girl that Nana saw in the cabin. So my whole like Kyoya is like aware that Nana's actually a clone of his sister or something like that. Like that's hella extra too. But at this point, fuck it, why not go over the top? But no, it's kind of boring. It's like, okay, yeah, that's fair. Like, it's, like, so the girl in the cabin is clearly Kyoya's sister, or at least probably, if it's not Kyoya's sister and it's just a girl who looks a lot like Nana, I'm gonna laugh my ass off, because that's some hella plot convenience. Talentless plot convenience. Actually, talented plot convenience, that's what this show should be called. But, yeah, like, so that's probably what it is. That it's just Kyoya's sister, and honestly, I was kind of disappointed because I'm like, oh, okay, because like Nana set it up that like her senior, like the person who was here killing folk before her, was the one who maybe like was taking all these people out. That would have been more interesting. That is a little disappointing that it's like, nah, they had a civil war. They went full Marvel in the early 2000s on our asses, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's all right. That's a little Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. It was a little boring. I'm not gonna lie. I was like a little sad for Jin when he tries to fly home and his grandmother thinks that he's a spirit and like so just tries to like pray for his soul, as the government has told his grandmother that he died fighting against the enemies of humanity. And it's like, oh shit, okay, so Jin is after Nana. Not because he necessarily wants to stop her from killing people, but because he wants to know what's going on. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's kind of neat. But then it's like, also, he's holy shit powerful. Like, oh my god, he's so strong. He has all the powers. He's basically what Araki wanted the world to be. Zawaldo. Or he is basically what Araki wanted Zawaldo to be. Until he realized that would have been ridiculous. For anybody who doesn't know, in part 3, the original pitch, and like vague spoilers for JoJo's part 3, the original pitch for Dio's stand, Zawaldo, was gonna be that it had the powers of every stand user they saw before then, and it's like, that's a yikes. That would have been like way OP, but it's like, no. Talentless Nana gotta be over the top and crazy. So hell yeah, Jin Tachibana got all the powers. He got all the powers. He could be everybody. He could be everything. In fact, he was the cat that Nana saved from the freaking cabin. Oh my gosh. Like, when that happened, I love this. I love this goofy shit. Oh man. Yeah, I definitely, like, I will say, there's something funny to me now about the idea that Jin, who is cool, by the way, like, I like Jin, but there's something funny about Jin Tachibana, or Tachibana, I don't know, I'm gonna call him Jin for this week. If his name is meant to be Tachibana, you guys can let me know in the comments. But there's something funny to me about Jin being a cat this whole time, and, like, Kyoya feeding him milk and shit, and Kyoya not being aware that he's like a full dude. He's like, I was gonna say a fully grown dude, but I don't know how old these characters are supposed to be. So maybe he's not fully grown, but he's almost a grown-ass man that he's been feeding milk this whole time, just in the body of a cat. He went full Peter Pettigrew on our ass. You know that? Like, he really did. He went full Peter Pettigrew on our asses. Yeah. I don't know what else to say. I don't know if I have much else to say. Yeah, I'm so sorry. There's gonna be so many, like, I don't even want to, I don't even know if I'm gonna want to see the likes to dislikes ratio of this video. I'm having fun, and I hope you guys can respect that. I still like this show. I still want to talk about it. I'm just gonna share with you my point of view that this show is goofy in the funnest kind of way. If that upsets you, I totally get it. I do feel a little bit bad because I don't want to bum you out. That's not my intention, but I am having fun with this show in my own way, and if you can respect that, cool, then let's have a laugh together. But with that said, everybody, that's gonna wrap up today's video here, so I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to boop that up snoot, share if you care, leave a comment down below, and of course, hit that subscribe button and ring that bell, setting notifications to all. Let all of AniTube know that you're here. And of course, as always, I have to give a big thank you to the good folks in the T Squadron. Look at these beautiful people. Look at all these beautiful names, and hey, if you would like to join these beautiful people, there are now 2 ways to do so. The first is by hitting that Patreon link in the description, and the second is by hitting that join button right beside the sub button to get a badge next to your name, some emotes to spam in the comments, and of course, your name scrolling past the screen here. So if that sounds cool to you, go ahead and hit that join button, or check out the Patreon page. Either way, it is super appreciated. And with that said, everybody, that is gonna wrap up today's video. So, until next time, you stay classy, AniTube. Wash your dang hands.